Okay, so I spent some time yesterday inefficiently, but I did, you can probably see already, but I did some graphical updates to uh, the, I guess it's like it's just being called right window now because it's got equipment, backpack, tackle, and player stats over here. Um, and I did some refactoring with a couple other elements. The stats display will now display. I'll go ahead and I'll play and I'll show you. Well, let me get full screen because I like how it ended up looking. Um, so it's kind of hard to see his face and mouth, but I went ahead and updated those. Oh yeah, I need to go ahead and fix the run. I already know how I'm gonna fix that. I've just been being lazy. But anyway, so I did a refactor of how the stamina works as well as the EXP. If I gain some EXP now, the bar goes up, and if I gain a lot of EXP, it goes up a little faster. Pretty standard stuff. It's also updating when I level up. For now, I'm just gaining 5 max stamina. So that wasn't immediately working because I just didn't have. I wasn't updating this when I leveled up or when a value has been changed, but I actually found some cool ways that I can create events within certain attributes to update their displays. But stamina or player stats over here, this is essentially just populating my list. If I go to attributes, so I have my list of attributes down here. I add all of the attributes that I have, and my player stats display automatically populates. Is that here? Automatically populates that, and I can show you that code really quick. Right window, player stats UI. Update visual, inventory, blah blah blah, and level up, update visual. Well, I'm doing that somewhere. Background stats window. I think I just created another script for that. How the hell am I doing that? Huh. In player, maybe? Groupable item, cast bar, level display, player stats UI. Well, anyway, I don't know how I'm doing that. I did it somehow. Right window, draggable window? Jeez. Anyway, so it's a scroll rect with a mask. If you've ever done that before, it's going to make sense to you right away. If I get items now as well, I also added a lure just to have a lure, but those aren't updating now. Oh, they don't have any stats, I think, because I redid everything. So none of my items have stats right now, but although I should have a cast power on that. But it doesn't. So, if I lose stamina this wasn't immediately working, but I went ahead and fixed it. I am using scriptable objects for current stamina and max stamina because I have separate UI scripts as well as stamina manager for the player. I don't think I went over any of the graphical updates, but the water looks a little cooler now. I'll show you that when I'm not in full screen because you can see it a little better. I added a toon shader and I added an outline to my player. I spent a lot of time yesterday just messing around with toon shaders and stuff, and it just looks better now. Or it looks, I don't know, it looks better. It's not final, but I created a little scene here so it's not as bland to look at anymore. I just want to make sure none of my items actually have stats and that they're not broken. They shouldn't be. Scriptable object, items, basic gloves. Yeah, none of them have any stats, although my fishing pole did have. Yeah, okay, so it does have cast and real power, but the values aren't set. And it does have strength and additive percent. Okay, so if I play focused, I guess you won't really be able to see that when you're with the camera in there, but play focused. The water's just offsetting itself. That's just a little update function in the fishable water. I just threw a script on there and blah blah blah. So swapping everything to toon shaders. I think you can do stuff in post-processing to display shaders on things, and I think that's what I'll end up doing, but for now I just made a shader setter, and all that's doing is finding every object with a boolean. If I want to, then I find objects of type renderer, so this is every object in the scene, and I go ahead and I set that to the selected texture. I can also do that for a specific object and all its children. I guess that would only be the stuff in the children. I can adjust that. But anyway, it was just a quick little ChatGPT came up with this. I was just like, how can I do this? And it's like here, so copy paste code there. So one thing that I found that was cool was, if I can get my stamina. Start. Yeah, here we go. So what I can do is, I can grab a reference. So I create an attribute, right? And an attribute is just one of my classes over here. It's just it's not a generic class, but it's just an attribute class. So what I can do is I can go ahead and create a variable, an attribute variable, and then I can assign it to specifically. And I'm spending more and more time trying to get away from the singleton usage here in this instance, because I'd like to make it as easy as possible to do multiplayer at some point. Because I do want to try to do that, and I know that this isn't going to work. But anyway, so I'm setting the attribute variable to specifically the max stamina of the player, right? So now I have a reference to that specific thing, and what I did in the attributes class is I created an event on value changed here. And now when if I modify the base value, I go ahead and I fire off this event, and then also anywhere where I'm adding modifiers or removing modifiers, I'm also firing off the event. So this was a little confusing to me. I'm remove public virtual bool remove modifier attribute. So I immediately set is dirty to true, and then I check. I'm not really I don't know how this could be a bool. So attribute modifiers, it should be a list. Yeah. So you can do dot remove. Let me just check that out really quick. Bool remove t. This is all in list, I guess. Huh. So yeah, I guess you can just check if you remove it. And if that's true, then I also set is dirty to true. So I think I just don't need this. Let me just leave a little comment. But I'm not adding and removing modifiers, so I don't know yet. Because right now, anytime this gets called, its setting is dirty to true. But anyway, I'm going ahead and I'm just firing off an event, and this is just in the attribute class. So each of these down here, and I think I'm firing it off some other place too, but each of these now, right, will fire off their own event, and if I can cache a reference to them, then I can subscribe to them specifically. So, you know, anytime my cast power changes or real speed or anything, movement speed, anytime that specific thing changes, if I need to know just about that, which in my stamina's case, I do. I'm only interested in the stamina, and I'm not interested in you know, any other value specifically for the display up here. When I have mana, it'll be the same thing. And I'll go over my stamina script really quick. I know I've gone over this before in some of the earlier videos, but I was pretty happy with its implementation, and I'm hoping that I'll probably just end up using that for like boss fish will have a stamina bar like me, and then regular fish will have a less involved stamina. But also, when you click something and you press space, it just does that. It does that button. But anyway, so my stamina will go down. When my stamina goes down, then my current max stamina goes down at a certain rate, and I have my total max stamina here. Also gradient display, and yeah. And also if I go all the way down, I'm pretty sure I showed this before, but I haven't seen it in a while, and I wanted to check it. So yeah, so you become exhausted and you don't regain your stamina. But you can see my current max stamina is going down while I'm not at max. And then when it's on max, they both stop going down. Anything interesting in here? Not really. I did have an issue with my items. And I recreated every item. Or I recreated the scriptable object for every item. So now I do have specifically items, equips. All of these are their own scriptable object here. So, and then that's going to allow me to I'll be able to add specifically a list for allowable attributes, or ones that can spawn. So that should allow me to craft. So I'm at, I think this is called polymorphism, what I'm doing here, but I have my armor SO, which inherits from equipable item SO, which inherits from item data SO. So it's getting a little weird, but I think that it's serving the purpose that I want it to serve, because right now when I do a hat, it inherits from armor SO, and armor SO overrides a non-validate from item data, and it automatically sets the width and the height of the of if I need that, right, for the grid inventory specifically. But if I need it, then I have that. And initially I'm just setting that to 1. I guess I don't need to set it here, but it's fine because it's being overridden. So I have my virtual void initialize with nothing in here, because I am doing initialize in I think in the equipable initialize, yeah. override void. So I wasn't sure if that was going to work, but it did. So that's cool. I'm still not entirely sure. See, I don't understand here. I'm doing a virtual void on validate, but on validate is okay. It still is on validate. It just is not displayed as yellow anymore. So I wasn't sure, but it was working like that. So whatever. So on validate goes ahead and sets the name to the name of my scriptable object. So all of these are just being set when I instantiate them. They're just being set to this one will be basic hat. Canvas backpack grid. So it's just automatically setting the names for me. Just something that I added anyway. What else have I been working on? I don't think anything in player yet. What I want to do today is make tooltips. I want to make a tooltip that is usable for anything that I need to display a tooltip on. So for example, my stats, I want information about what they do. Items need to display item information. Buttons over here, or skills when I add those. Wherever. I just want to be able to slap that on or call it. So I'm thinking maybe a couple different constructors, right? Because my item tooltip is going to need to display, for example, an image sprite. If I toggle that on, it's just inactive. Okay, so this is what something similar to what my item tooltip will be. So that has a sprite, an item name, attributes, affixes. But if I'm just hovering over a stat, it needs to. It doesn't need all that crap. So maybe just a couple different constructors, and then preferred width and height. Anyway, I just started that, but that's the plan for today. I want to do tooltips for today. And did I change anything else? Okay. Here's where I did the stuff. So yeah, so instance, player stats, attributes, count, blah blah blah. I go ahead and instantiate a stats display prefab, which I just created down here. Which, yeah, you can't really see that, but name, value, underline, blah blah blah. You saw the stats. So anyway, that's where things are at currently. Just a bit of an update. If I make some decent progress with the tooltip, I'll do another video showing its implementation here. But moving forward, I need to really sit down and set plans, because yesterday I wasted a lot of time because I didn't have a plan. I just oh well, let me just mess around with shader graphs. And I learned stuff and got to implement stuff, and the game looks better now, which is nice. I did some refactoring, but having a plan I think would allow me to make a lot more progress. Also, this is static. I did that whole draggable window thing, which it's still being used here, but I might need to rename that for just window, because I think I'm still using it on right window, draggable window, and is draggable. Oh, is my right window draggable? I haven't even tried. Yeah. Okay, so not draggable. Thank you. Backpack, blah blah blah. None of these are draggable, but yeah, is visible. False. Child windows false. I don't think I'm doing anything with this, to be honest. But anyway, I'm gonna do I don't need to be dragging windows everywhere. I think that makes things a little more convoluted than they need to be. I like how this ended up getting set up. You know, some minor adjustments here, maybe changing spacing and maybe labels for all this, or tooltips, right? Tooltips for this. I'll leave that. I'll leave that. I also imported some more stuff. Toon shader. I have the skybox, different toon shader, stylized water texture. So there was this cool. Did I delete it yet? Low poly tree. I might have deleted it. But there was like this volume, right, where items will float on the water and stuff. And I was going to use that, but I think it ended up just being a little more complex than I needed to get into. Also, the whole I don't know what you call the graphics or like design or whatever. Like that's a whole rabbit hole that you could really just get lost in. There's so much to do. The shader graphs are really cool. I can show you the shader graph. I literally just downloaded it though. That's just an outline that I did. Simple toon. If I go to player, player visual, character, toon. I can't even. There we go. So this is, I just downloaded this. I didn't do anything with that. I struggled for a while trying to put an outline on this because I wanted everything to have an outline, but the way it displayed on my character, I think I can show you that. Let me just get that off the screen for now. The way it's displayed on my character was really weird compared to everything else. So right now, my player character and only this tree have the outline, I think, unless I deleted it off of that tree. I think I did. But I can go ahead and just add that outline. So right now, the outline here, the tree has it, and my outline thickness, if you look at if you watch my player in that tree, remember it's this tree right here, you cannot even see the outline on the tree, but the player one looks way bad in the scene. So, you know, I don't know, you could do something like that, but then I also saw some post-processing, which I kind of want to do that today too. There was some post-processing add outline to stuff, and that looked really cool, so I kind of wanted to do that really quick. The videos were only like 10, 12 minutes or something like that, so I might end up replacing that with that, but anyway, I'm going to continue working on this tooltip thing. Shader graph, this was a free Unity asset that I downloaded for the toon shader, and ended up working out pretty good. Can I do overrides? No. I do have a global volume though with overrides. Plume and stuff. I think making things a little lighter. But anyway, that's it for now. I'll do another video if I get this tooltip working, or if I do anything else interesting today. I'm sure I missed some stuff, but I haven't really done anything specific. I've just been refactoring and blah blah blah. So anyway, bye.